Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha and welcome to this week's installment of Line of Sight, the exclusively Bacon Weekly News Roundup. It's been an extremely busy week with a metric ton of things going on in my little sphere of the internet, and as such I'm recording this far later in the day than I normally do. So as that is the case, I already feel like my brain is slowly turning into a pile of goo, but I'll do my level best to maintain the standards of quality you all have come to expect of these videos. After all, the reception has been absolutely amazing since day one, and I really would hate to see that change. That said, there's been a lot going on in the world of gaming at large, and some of it has been quite shocking in nature, so let's go ahead and go over what we have for this week. The developers of OOBLETS under fire for condescending statements surrounding their going Epic exclusive. Our second story will be a quick one, as it's rumored that Microsoft has paid Ninja $50 million to move to Mixer. And you all knew it was coming. The Entertainment Software Association leaked over 2,000 journalists, YouTubers, and Twitch streamers' private information. And now that we're all queued up, let's get started. Video games becoming an Epic Games Store exclusive have become so common in recent days that people scarcely raise an eyebrow anymore unless they happen to be crowdfunded games in which backers are led to feel that they were used as little more than interest-free loans in order to get Epic's attention. By and large, it's not completely without merit when one thinks of what Epic Games has been offering games developers and why they're so attracted to the exclusivity deals that Epic offers. With an upfront infusion of cash plus a guaranteed dollar amount of sales based upon what the developers would have otherwise hoped for to get on Steam and GOG, meaning if they don't meet those expected sales, Epic Games foots the bill to make up the difference. This allows developers to not only sidestep fighting for visibility on an already flooded marketplace such as Steam, but it affords developers an extreme amount of financial stability, and in many cases one could understand why indie developers would choose to take the deal. However, more often than not, it's not merely that the developers have taken the deal, it is in how they take the deal that matters. Such was the case with Piranha Games and MechWarrior 5, where it was stated by Piranha Games president Russ Bullock that they had confirmed they would be going Epic exclusive while they were still selling pre-orders of the game and had deliberately withheld the knowledge from their customers and supporters until Gamescom 2019, where they could temper the inevitable outrage with the promised closed beta. There was also Shenmue 3, a game that was kickstarted prior to going Epic exclusive, in which the developers steadfastly refused refunds for the game to enraged backers, where Epic Games stepped in and decided to foot the bill for those refunds. And now we have the developers of OOBLETS announcing their game was going Epic exclusive in a manner that was apparently intended to be cheeky and humorous, but has instead sparked the precise opposite effect on gamers who see it as condescending and insulting. Now, in their online post, they had the following to say: "Everyone kept talking about this Epic thing, so we thought we'd see what it's all about. First, they teach every kid in the world these obnoxious dances, and now they're offering funding to game developers in exchange for PC exclusivity on their game store. This is exactly what Marx warned us about." Just imagine if other companies got it in their head to offer funding in exchange for exclusive. What'd be next? Game consoles paying for games to be exclusives on their consoles? Netflix paying for exclusive shows? Newspapers paying for exclusive articles? It'd be some sort of late capitalist dystopia. Further on in their posting, they continued by stating that any outrage directed towards them would be misplaced due to things such as climate change and human rights abuses existing, and that people should get upset about those things instead because this was, quote, low-stakes video game stuff. Since then, there have been numerous Discord snips, including this one where the developer states that he wished he would still have to care what entitled toxic gamers think, and some other screenshots that have been called into question as well. I say called into question because there has been some evidence floating around that is likely fabricated as well in order to stir up further animosity towards the developers, while in common troll fashion making gamers and YouTubers like myself who had initially believed the information look to be fools dancing for their amusement. That came in the form of this screenshot that shows the developer claiming that gamers should be gassed. This was later claimed to be faked, and then a video surfaced showing the Discord server in real time, a common thing for internet watchdogs to do when they're monitoring a situation in which the developer supposedly posted the statement a scant 2 seconds after his previous one, and then the comment later disappearing. It is important to note that this appears to be a new post and not simply a modification of an existing post. However, it was shown to me how a person could do this by copy-pasting the HTML field into the browser with an updated timestamp and then deleting it again. That, coupled with one of the active Discord members shown in the video stating in no uncertain terms that the posting was never made. This caused severe doubt as to the actual existence of the posting being legitimate and as such should be treated as false. So while the developers may not have acted in a manner that was appropriate to the situation at hand, lying and creating misinformation about them merely to sow further discord and animosity isn't exactly the greatest idea in the world either. Our next brief story involves another form of payday for one particular ex-Twitch streamer leaving Twitch in favor of Mixer. Tyler Blevins, aka Ninja, is one of the more popular Fortnite streamers out there. In March of 2018, Ninja was raking in a titanic $500,000 per month, showcasing just how much money one can make as a worldwide popular streamer. However, Mixer seems to have decided to get a slice of that Ninja pie. On August 1st, Ninja posted an announcement that he would be moving his channel to Mixer on a fictional press conference video posted to his Twitter, as Microsoft will be capitalizing on Ninja's success by having him make Mixer-related appearances throughout the year. In relation to this news, Tom Warren, the senior editor at The Verge, rhetorically asked why Microsoft would pay approximately $50 million to get Ninja onto their platform, self-answering that it was a platform play for xCloud due to Google's already having YouTube and its upcoming Stadia, and Amazon having Twitch, and it is a move that has already seen some initial momentum for the Mixer platform. Per Video Games Chronicle, Mixer saw over 100,000 first-time users on the US App Store by itself, which was a 2,400% increase from the previous week. So while Ninja may now be set for life, it will be interesting to see moving forward if the $50 million investment Microsoft is making in Ninja's brand strength will end up paying off dividends for them in the long run. Our next story is one that is large in scope and yet has been slow to make the rounds in journalism sites. The E3 Expo is a convention that is held every year, frustratingly enough during my birthday. It is an event that I was interested in attending this year, but thankfully it's one that I had to pass on due to financial reasons, and now I'm very glad that I did. The story originally broke via Sophia Narwitz, a former niche gamer journalist turned YouTuber who was reached out to by an anonymous source that informed her that by clicking on a certain link within the E3 2019 website, one would download an unencrypted Excel spreadsheet that lacked even basic password protection. Contained within that spreadsheet was the full name, email address, physical address, and phone number for 2,025 games journalists, YouTubers, and Twitch streamers. The link has since been removed, but web archives of the link do exist and have been shared around the internet very quickly. I myself was able to obtain a copy via web archive and was also able to verify the contents. It is worth noting that this is a very incomplete list and is likely to contain only the early signees such as Jesse Cox, PC Gamer, IGN, SkillUp, and others, but even a very early list still contains thousands of people's information. And while most games journalists operate under office physical addresses and email accounts, many YouTubers and streamers have their home addresses and phone numbers disclosed by the Entertainment Software Association who run the E3 convention. Contained within that spreadsheet is also several individuals that live within the EU, making this a very clear-cut and massive GDPR violation. This has led to a fair amount of backlash on the part of games journalists, but the vitriol is not directed towards the ESA as one might expect, but towards Sophia Narwitz. Many journalists, like Jason Schreier of Kotaku, have accused her for making certain the information would spread around more readily due to her, quote, rush to report. However, this impression does not coincide with the facts of the events as they have unfolded. Sophia Narwitz received information that this spreadsheet existed and the ESA were aware of the vulnerable data as far back as February, but did nothing to protect the identities of those contained within the document. Narwitz later responded to these accusations of impropriety by outlining how she had called and emailed the ESA about the leak and never made any information public until after the ESA had pulled the page in question. However, it would seem that while the ESA did indeed pull the page a few hours after Narwitz called and emailed them, the file was still present on the web host and was found by others and then archived. Narwitz also stated that she contacted Richard Lewis and Hogue Law before recording her video, and she has reassured her viewers that she did indeed take the leak very seriously. Obviously, the data was already out in the wild and countless people have now obtained the information. Also, the ESA have released a statement regarding this incident in which they say ESA was made aware of a website vulnerability that led to the contact list of registered journalists attending E3 being made public. Once notified, we immediately took steps to protect that data and shut down the site, which is no longer available. We regret this occurrence and have put measures in place to ensure it will not occur again. The fallout that will result from this breach will not be determined for quite some time, both within the US and the EU. However, it does not at all bode well for the ESA, and greater assurances of data protection will likely need to be made before the ESA starts booking journalists for E3 2020. But that's all the time we have for this week's Line of Sight. Thank you so much for tuning in. My apologies for only having 3 stories this week. I'll do my best to attempt to get some more material in here for future episodes. That said, if you enjoyed this video, or if you would like to hear my opinion on some of these topics, you can do so by checking me out on my channel at youtube.com/SidAlpha. All are welcome as long as you love video games. Thank you again for watching this week's Line of Sight. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha, and I'll see you next time.